True or false? Inventions. Only scientists and engineers invent things. An invention is any tool, machine, or way to do something that solves a problem, makes work easier, or makes life better. All sorts of people, even kids, have had ideas that turn into famous inventions. All inventions are made after lots of thought, hard work, and careful planning. Many inventors stumble upon their inventions by chance. For example, the slinky was invented when an engineer knocked over a spring and liked the way it moved. You can be paid for your invention in chocolate. You won't be the first. The inventor of the chocolate chip cookie, Ruth Wakefield, sold a recipe to the Nestle company for a lifetime supply of chocolate. Inventor Mary B. Shrink invented a shrink ray that can make people bug-sized. Outside of science fiction, shrink rays have not been invented. Scientists say that it's not possible to shrink people because some parts of their bodies will not work if they were made small. A dog helped invent Velcro. Swiss engineer Georges de Mastral got the idea for Velcro in the 1940s when he saw birds stuck in his dog's fur. Velcro works like burrs. Tiny hooks catch tiny loops of fastened materials together. A patent helps inventors on their inventions. Patents are given by the government. They give inventors the right to stop others from making, selling, or copying their inventions. You cannot patent living things. In 1988, the United States government gave a patent for an animal. It was given to scientists who changed mice to help study the disease called cancer. These mice glows in the dark. The can and the can opener were invented at the same time. The can opener was invented almost 50 years after the can. Before the can opener, people opened cans with a hammer and a chest. Bubble wrap was invented to be a wallpaper. The inventors of bubble wrap wanted to make three-dimensional wallpaper. Bubble wallpaper was not popular, but it has turned out to be a good packing material. Inventors have always gotten credit for their inventions. Throughout history, women and people of color have faced discrimination. This means that people treated them unfairly because of their differences. In the United States and Europe, it used to be hard for women or people of color to give credit for their ideas. There are more than 300 invented uses for peanuts, and they all came from the brain of the same scientist, George Washington Carver. He was born into celebrity around 1864. Some of the products made from peanuts that invented are soap, ink, face powder, and the milk substitute. Chewing gum was invented by people living thousands of years in a country now called Greece. The ancient Greeks chewed gum made from the bark of a mestic tree. The kind of chewing gum we have today was invented much later in the 1860s. People invent things to become rich and famous. People who invent things might get rich, but the main reason for invention is to help others. An invention must be or do something people want. If the invention does not help people, it will not succeed. Play-Doh was invented to be a cleaning product. The sticky, squishy modeling clay was originally meant to be used to clean wallpaper. Sometimes inventions have more than one use. All inventions are modern, technological, and complicated. People invented things as long as there have been people. That is a very long time. The plow and the wheel were invented more than 5,000 years ago. People was invented about 2,000 years ago. Even the most simple things we use today have been invented at some point. The inventor, Alexander Graham Bell, is famous for creating the graham cracker. Alexander Graham Bell is best known for inventing the telephone. The graham cracker is named for Sylvester Graham, an American who taught about healthy food in the early 1800s. Wild animals also invent things. Scientists have discovered that apes, crows, and some other animals made tools. For example, chimpanzees used sticks to learn lanes of grass to poke around termite mounds and anthills to catch the insects for food. A dentist invented a cotton candy machine. In 1897, a dentist named William Morrison and a candy maker named John C. Wharton created a machine that made fluffy candy for sugar and flavor. Cotton candy was originally called fairy floss. Today, dentists say skip the sweets, brush twice a day, and use dental floss. Thomas Edison, one of the greatest inventors in history, received thousands of patients. Edison was given 1,093 patients by the United States government alone. He received thousands of patients for governments around the world. Edison worked on a phonograph, the light bulb, and motion pictures. Some of Edison's patients were received for his own inventions. Others were for things that people developed in his laboratories. Frisbees are named after the inventor, Felicity Frisbee. The name Frisbee comes from the Frisbee Pie Company in Connecticut, USA. The Frisbee Pie Company sells pies to college students at Yale University. Students will toss around the empty pie tins just like today's Frisbees. Inventions can save lives. Some of the most important inventions have saved thousands of lives. Before some kinds of medicine were invented, people died from sickness we can cure today. Scientists try to make new and better medicine all the time. Discoveries and inventions are the same things. A discovery is seeing something in nature for the first time. An invention is making something for the first time. For example, people discovered fire, but they invented the matches set to start a fire. What exciting thing did you discover or invent? Popsicles were originally called Epsicles. They are named after their inventor, Frank Everson. The hi-fi wasn't invented until the 1970s. Telescopes were invented by accident. It took 30 years for an inventor to go into patient a laser. The recipe for Coca-Cola isn't patient, but nobody outside the company can figure it out. Alexander Graham Bell wanted people to answer the telephone by saying "ahoy" instead of "hello." Bagpipes are a famous symbol of Scotland, but they were invented in the Middle East. Well, it's the end of this book, though.